Hello, and today I have the opportunity of talking to one of my Vistage members, Micheal Malloy. Micheal, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely, Scott. Glad to be here.
And what I'd really like to get out of today is for you to kind of explain your Vistage experience along the way. So I got a handful of questions and we'll go from there. Why don't we start with this? Micheal, why did you join Vistage to begin with?
A great question, Scott. Actually, it was suggested to me from the owner of our company, who had been a longtime Vistage participant, and highly suggested that I should go and check it out and get involved. And from the very first meeting I got invited to, I knew this would be something that could definitely help me in my growth, in my leadership skills, and heck, even on a personal front, probably how to be just a better husband, better friend to people in my life.
I love it. Let's talk about what is your title and how long have you been a Vistage member?
Sure. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Brightwater Homes. We are a boutique design build firm. So we have architects on staff. We design residential homes. And then the cool thing is we're able to also build those homes. And we build here in Atlanta and in the Charleston, South Carolina market. Been here, be going on 6 years, believe it or not. In about 30 days, we'll be celebrating my 6 year anniversary, and started Vistage probably close, probably around 5 years ago. It was shortly after I came on board at Brightwater that I got involved with Vistage.
Now, I know that you've been through a lot with Vistage, right? So maybe you could talk about where was your company when you started and what have you used Vistage for along the way?
Sure, it was little background. Charlie, the owner of the company, had started Brightwater. He and I had known each other for 25 plus years through the home building industry. He had started Brightwater, was doing well, and was at a point where he wanted to find someone to come in and run the day-to-day operations so it could free him up to do other things. We ended up, once I came on board, reading the book Rocket Fuel together. It talks about him being the visionary and me being an integrator. So we use that to help a lot in terms of how we were going to establish our working relationship, how we were going to be on the same page with each other and with the organization and other team members. And through that came his suggestions of getting involved in Vistage. The cool thing at the time was the chairperson for my Vistage group and his was the same person. And we had the extra benefit of using that chairperson to help meet with us one-on-ones together for he and I to continue to build our relationship, build our communication style, and take the company to the next level.
Nice. So within Vistage, it's a very confidential environment. Kind of what happens in Vistage stays in Vistage. But are there a couple of things that you've experienced or issues that you've processed that you don't mind sharing today?
Oh gosh, I'm sure you would like for me to process the issue every month. But I think I've had my fair share. Sometimes it's difficult getting to articulate what those are, but it is by far, I think, one of the absolute biggest benefits of Vistage. Um, I didn't know this from the necessarily the very first meeting I had come and attended, but after going to two or three Vistage groups and watching some of the other members process issues, I saw the benefit in it, on a selfish side of helping myself solve issues. So often you don't have anyone to really talk to. You're not. You have things that come up in work. You might not go straight to your boss, or maybe who someone reports to you. You probably aren't going to go share it with your best friend, and probably not going to take it home to share with your spouse or significant other. So you don't have really an outlet to put this out there, and Vistage provides that. It's kind of having your own board of directors, if you will, and it's cool that everyone's from a different industry. Most everyone's in similar sort of leadership type roles. but they come from a whole wealth of different industries and perspectives. Size of businesses can vary from someone who's a sole proprietor to someone who's in an organization that has a couple hundred employees. So you get a lot of different perspectives to help you process different issues. I would say that for me personally, most of the issues that are processed are probably people related. It's chasing numbers of revenue and sales and units and things of that nature comes a little bit easier. But it's those soft skills of how to deal with HR issues or people that you're trying to lead has been, not a challenge for me in my career, but it's definitely not my super strength, if you will. So Vistage has helped me gain a lot of insight on how to approach solving people issues.
Well, I know that you've been a tremendous member, experiencing working with you now with these 5 years. Um, what would you say the business has done financially or benefited from through these 5 years? I know we've gone through COVID and some challenges, but what could you say that the business got out of you being a member?
Sure. Well, probably one of the biggest things, and if you ask some of the people I work with, they'll know when I've been to a Vistage meeting because usually the next day, our meetings are on Thursday, usually the next day, Friday or the following Monday, I'll come with a whole lot of new ideas and thoughts and things that I took away from Vistage. So my team, they know when I'm in Vistage because I come up with a lot of these ideas or I don't come up with them necessarily, but I get them out of the Vistage group. COVID is the past 5 years, COVID was a really interesting thing with home building. The market took off, as we all know, for a few years. And so it was just trying to keep our head on straight and to build houses. And probably biggest learn was don't overcommit because we sold probably more houses than we could physically build during those couple of years. Um, but I would say that probably the biggest benefits is that we've experienced is trying to keep our culture intact when we went from being a smaller company, say building 25 to 30 homes a year to all of a sudden we were building 40, 45, 50 homes one year. And just the pressures and demands that put on everyone, it was really easy to things to start to crack or break or levers start to fall off and keeping people's morale, keeping the culture of the company focused, all rowing in the same direction, focused on the same goals. Vistage helped a lot processing some of those type of some of those sort of situations that we found ourselves in, and helped us tremendously to kind of weather the storm that was brought on by just really good business, but super growth there for a couple of years, and how to keep all our heads on straight.
Yeah. So with Vistage, there's a bit of a time commitment. And one of the things that I hear from people that have not gone through a Vistage experience is I don't have enough time to devote to going to Vistage meetings, or I'm not sure I'm going to get a return on investment for the money that it takes to participate. What would you say to those two things?
Well, I had similar thoughts. Then I really boiled it down to, and I said, well, look, the actual meeting itself is one day a month. And then I started saying, okay, I can easily do that. There's no excuse not to be able to do that. And then I started on the cost of it. I started to say to myself, well, what would be the price if I didn't join Vistage? What could I be missing out on? What could the organization not be focused on or aware of um, by not knowing something I could have learned at Vistage? And that would more than offset the price that we pay for our Vistage membership. It's come back to me tenfold in terms of things that we've brought onto the organization to help us that definitely had financial impact to our success.
Perfect. Well, I think we're gonna wind it up there. Again, have really enjoyed you and being part of the group, and thank you for taking your time today to share your thoughts.
Hey, Scott, absolutely appreciate it. I would suggest to anyone who's considering Vistage to get in touch with Scott and hear more about his story and our story.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.